shocking. £1,000. I mean, we all know if we were in London that prices have gone up so much. But what exactly is driving this?
Yeah, so you said £1,000 is a huge number now. This is kind of for the average single room in a flat or a house in London.
For a room. This
Just
is the thing. Like, a lot of foreigners will be like, for a room?
Just a room. I mean, what's driving this? You've had this long-term kind of lack of housing stock in the UK, which means that, for a long time, it's been a bit of a struggle. But recently, with the rates that have gone up so sharply, mortgages are much more expensive. Lots of buy-to-let landlords are actually selling up and exiting that market, which means there's a bit of a lack of supply. And at the same time, people who maybe would have moved off of the renting, market, would have bought a house, they're staying renting for longer. So we just have more people in this market and just not enough properties. So you have about 6 people for every room available on the platform right now.
So what's the outlook for the London rental market right now? Does it just keep on rising? I mean, this is a huge cost. We're talking about cost of living crisis. This is it.
Yeah, and this is exactly it. And the thing is, this kind of £1,000 actually holds back jobs, it holds back growth. People who would have been able to move to London and just start a job, start education, they are being held back and they aren't taking those opportunities. Where this is going, we are seeing a point where rates are maybe starting to peak. We are seeing the fact that mortgages in the next couple of years could come down. But the issue is, and what we're hearing is that if mortgages come down and there's savings for landlords or savings for investors, it doesn't always pass on to the renters, it doesn't always pass on to the youngest people. So it could be some kind of embedded inflation that stays for a lot longer.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, because actually wages may not, increase as rent does. Does it just mean that people will have to pay a bigger chunk of their salaries to rent?
Yeah, exactly. And in London, it's already a huge amount. I mean, £1,000, if you kind of have the average salary, it can be up to 40% of your salary going towards that. And that means that you cut back on other necessities. That means you've got to maybe move further away. And it causes so many issues, as I said, for the labour market. Labour shortages are rife in this capital. And that is also because accommodation is becoming so difficult, as we can see right now.
Is the government doing anything about it? Can they do anything about it?
I mean, the government is definitely, focusing a lot on the kind of more housing side of things, as in the more residential, purchases. The Bank of England, on Wednesday, were talking about how this is quite concerning, how the impact of rates on the rental market, but that, you have to kind of do this to drive down inflation. That's the most important thing right now for the country.